What are colleges for? What are they supposed to achieve? Learning colleges are one answer to that question. Learning colleges were born in Change magazine way back in the year 1995. John Tagg and Robert Barr wrote From Teaching to Learning, a New Paradigm for Undergraduate Education. It called for a paradigm shift in higher education. Paradigms were a hot thing at the time. Paradigms are the rules of the game. Colleges generally follow established rules, so the way they do things naturally becomes pretty settled, and the ruling paradigm on campus is rarely questioned. The Learning Colleges idea was offered as a new lens for administrators and faculty to view their own institutions and their own work. It has some simple-sounding ideas with big implications for colleges that follow them. To understand the new Learning Colleges paradigm, we need to look back at the assumptions underlying the traditional paradigm. The old instructional paradigm was a delivery model, not delivering babies or toys or milk or office supplies, but delivering instruction, usually in the form of 50-minute lectures in class. So, in the instructional paradigm, the purpose of a college is to create a place for specific kinds of instruction, to provide opportunities for learning, to provide up-to-date instructional resources, and so on. It's all there to help students who are working to improve the quality of their lives. The method of helping them is to teach, and the end product that the college produces is teaching. Barr and Tagg didn't like this model. Under the instructional paradigm, colleges with declining budgets must teach ever-increasing numbers of students, many with challenging needs and diverse backgrounds. Colleges require an increased output of instruction to be done with less money. If you have to crank out a larger quantity of teaching without cash to pay for more instructors, the quality of the product you deliver, instruction, will suffer. In the learning paradigm, the purpose of a college is to produce learning. The method is whatever works best. But the product isn't teaching, it's learning. In the concept of a learning college, it's not instruction quantity, but the outcome of instruction that matters most. Remember, the product isn't teaching, it's learning. A learning college isn't concerned with teaching productivity, but rather learning productivity. So, which agent is responsible for student learning? Is it the college? Or is the student personally responsible for their own learning? The answer is yes. The college is responsible for all student learning, and the student is also equally responsible for their own learning. Both agents are responsible for the same outcome. For learning colleges to know if they're working, they do assessment, but not assessment of teaching, assessment of learning. The colleges collect evidence assessing actual learning from the students and give that evidence back to the instructors. In this assessment, the power of an approach to learning is judged in terms of measured impact. If students learn better in A, then A is more powerful than B. And when teachers become aware of the results, when they know their impact on learning from each other and from the students, almost all of them make changes in their teaching behaviors. The old instructional model doesn't encourage experimentation and change. But learning colleges do encourage experimentation. In fact, they support anything that works. And what works is whatever increases learning. The keys to a learning college are to identify and assess, to identify the knowledge and skills that graduates should possess using explicit standards, and assess how well that worked. But changing paradigms is like turning an ocean liner. Not easy. You begin by conversation, sharing perspectives on learning outcomes, having discussions defining goals in student learning, and defining assessment, sharing learning outcomes for specific programs, for specific classes, designing assessment tools, implementing them, and sharing the results. In the end, the faculty of a learning college need to answer just one question. What would we do differently if we put learning outcomes first? Answer that one question, and then